Halloween on the 31st is a created media empire, much like Christmas is a created media empire. The whole point of what All Hallows Eve or any of the other pagan belief systems is at a time where the dead or ancestors talk to the living and that you make prayer offerings. Halloween has been bastardized by the media and marketing agencies to make money. There's a reason why you look at the costumes and you see women dressing up in the women clothes and the men dressing up in the men clothes, and then all of the different costumes that make you look like not man or a woman. It has nothing to do with the celebration of Halloween or All Hallows Eve or Samhain or any of those other expressions, because we weren't in that culture then, and that culture isn't alive now. So to say that there is an atmospherical effect is absolutely wrong. There is a crown chakra effect that thins the veil based off of the belief system that people have. There are people that come in with a built-in belief system in their light body that can make All Hallows Eve or Halloween or Samhain a different energy day for them, in which that the sacred geometry system can use and abuse them for energy harvesting. Absolutely a commercial construct. It's about understanding the patterns of the seasons and the movements of the stars. There are times that you have an All Hallows Eve that doesn't have a Friday the 13th. Ooh, well, people don't realize that the myth has that involved in it too. So to really have a Day of the Dead where the dead are honored, they're able to speak to, that means the local mediums of the village, before they were destroyed by the different religions that came through and said that they weren't real, they honored that and basically helped you go through the mourning process years after a loved one has died. In the old days, oftentimes the loved ones died on the road or traveling, and you never knew what happened to them. And there was this spark in your heart that wanted to see them come home one day in the future. And these days, like All Hallows Eve or Samhain, were used at the local cultural level to make sure that mourning was done right, and that a soul that might be trapped, that has died, that never got an acknowledgement of the people that it loved, that it could receive that message and pass back it back onto the light to incarnate back with that family. Now, for those people that are grumbling and saying, I'm a light worker and I've seen ghost infest people every Halloween and I see the worst of the worst out, well, it just means the bad guys came to your neighborhood during trick-or-treating time. That's all that it means. You know, this is kind of rough and hard and tough for people to understand that this mythical thing that's Halloween that I'm telling you is a media creation, because it is, just like Christmas, just like Easter, just like the Easter Bunny. It was hijacked for a reason, so people could never truly mourn and pass on their loved ones, because if they did, the reincarnation system wouldn't have anybody in it at all. That's why they took those places and those times and those events away from us, so we wouldn't be connected to the world and the universe of life. Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, psychically, is way, way worse than Halloween. Every entity is on feeding duty, waiting for someone to have holiday charm and spirit so they can steal it from them. It's like all the deer have come down to the watering grounds and all the lions are circling the watering grounds while everyone's at Christmas. That entire season from the 24th, 23rd of December all the way to the 2nd of January is mass feeding on humanity by entities. Halloween pales in comparison to that date. And I'm a huge Halloween fan. You know, people have heard me say about, you know, I spent a time as a professional Halloween person, you know, haunting and doing stuff at a professional level and stuff that I shared privately with. I enjoy Halloween. I've been a person that's been at the haunted houses scaring people. As a kid, I enjoyed it. Why? I knew it wasn't real. I knew what it was. And when people come to a better understanding of what's in our environment, what's around us, that we create our reality, that we manifest our reality, even with our unaware thoughts, we are manifesting reality. So for those people that have extreme fears of spiders, guess what? Halloween, you're going to see a spider. That's what it really means in the most basic moment. You're going to manifest a fear if you're not ready to say, no, this is my reality, and you do not have the right to affect my reality with your negative pollution. Let's look at Thanksgiving as a metaphor. We are celebrating the day that white man came to Turtle Island and began murdering all of the people, and that story of Thanksgiving where the Indians came and sat with the settlers is absolutely false. It never happened. Never anything like that happened. Immediately they were right away fighting each other and exchanging blankets that had poisons on them. We made treaties with them that
Ooh.
said we wouldn't advance beyond the Appalachian Mountains. We're 50 states now, coast to coast. That's what Thanksgiving's celebrating. Is that tacit consent to ancestral debt that we created? Yeah, it is. Does that make Thanksgiving bad? No. It just makes it a cover-up of all the tacit consent we've given away for our 200 years of American history that we're now celebrating once a year as a family because it's our legacy. Legacy of what the ancestors created as debt, as spiritual debt, and now that it is part of our holiday system, the awakening is going to look at our holiday system in all dimensions, time streams, angles, and begin to remove the affronts to universal law in which we created ancestral karmic debt and passed it on to a future generation to celebrate it as great light and not debt. You've heard me talk about protecting your dream space, protecting your bed, the four corners of your property, the four corners of your home, outside of your home, the inside of your home. That's the time to do it. You're going to be sharing the dirty energy under you with the family and your Uncle Ned that only talks about politics and never lets you get a word in edgewise. You're going to be having your great Aunt Tula's fruitcake that no one ever likes, but you have to taste it because if you don't, your mom's going to slap you across the head. You're going to have the best manners at the table, and you're going to have to do what social 3D contracts say that you're going to do. Protect yourself. Be yourself. Allow yourself to have no limitations in that cultural clan environment. Allow yourself to be free and open, but at the same time to not take on the pollution of others just because they're families in this perceived mechanical sacred moment of a holiday celebration.
That's
Holiday
big.
celebrations have mechanics behind them, and spiritual scientists have known this for tens of thousands of generations and have used celebrations against us. A celebration that you did 600 years ago is still affecting you now. Oh, yeah. We all out of our past, present, and future lives simultaneously existing until we put in the hierarchical order of the I am self, because the I am self is the peak of the hierarchical order in a whole hierarchical system. So all I am selves and all presences are equal. When we look at that mechanics and we look at the mechanics of what a holiday is, you can be a sovereign being in your own sovereign energy field, not taking on the karmic pollution of others, and still be yourself without fear, worry, envy, resentment, or the anticipation of psychic debt coming to you because you didn't pass the salt in time.